On today's show, presented by PrizePicks, we have major Arizona Cardinals updates about them trading down in the NFL draft. We're going to look at the latest reports, rumors, and what Monty Ossenford himself had to say about this concept. So before we dive right into that, I want to see who can call this, all right? Who can get the satisfaction of predicting if the Cardinals will do it or not? Will the Cardinals trade down from the third overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft? Type Y for yes, type N for no. That's all you got to do in the comment section to see if you can call this right here, right now on April 17th. Y for yes, N for no. We're going to look at this new report from Jordan Schultz that is quite breaking for the Arizona Cardinals, and that is that at number 3, it's the biggest mystery for teams in the top 5 if they stay put. But the belief is a trade down is very much in play. Similar to how Arizona operated in 2023 when they moved back from that same third spot per multiple league sources. Remember, Arizona added an extra first, and they still landed the player they coveted in offensive tackle Paris Johnson Jr., who is now a cornerstone player for that franchise at left tackle. Could you just do the same exact thing? Get your cornerstone right tackle and Francis Maui? No, I think that is a great plan for the Arizona Cardinals, but I will guarantee you this. Monty Ossenford will be working those phones on draft night. They'll be in that war room. He'll be answering the phones. So whoever's calling, I think their preference would be to trade down from pick number 3. Monty Ossenford did not give away their entire secrets, but he did have this to say about the concept of trading down. There hasn't been anything concrete at this point, but he did add, and as he said in years past, it's not unusual. Those discussions really don't start happening until next week, and even then, it's more some kind of ideas. Once you get into that war room, once you're on the clock, that is when things really start to solidify. And so what we have heard so far for the Cardinals at this point, from all NFL insiders and draft analysts like Mel Kiper included, they have all said the Cardinals want to draft offensive tackle, but that pick 3 is rich to be taking Sfano, Maui, or any of the offensive tackles in this draft. And it does make sense. You have a top 3 pick. The offensive linemen in this class, they're not top 3 players in the class, right? They're probably ranked anywhere from 10 to 15 on the big boards, and you probably want to get a more impact player at 3. So because they really just want to go OT, trade down seems like it would be the move. But who would actually move up to 3, and what would they give the Cardinals to make that move? That's what we're going to talk about next on today's show. Don't go anywhere. Look at some trade packages and how these deals could get done for your Arizona Cardinals. But let's also talk about the app that I can't get enough of, and that is PrizePicks. It's the best place to win cash while you watch sports. Playoff basketball is here, big golf tournaments, baseball is underway if you're old school. And personally, I just love sports, and I love making daily fantasy lineups. You guys can follow me on the app and see all of my lineups at JoeyOD1. Get the picks before they even get posted on the show. Also, you can follow your friends, share lineups with each other, or explore your favorite celebrity lineups. The lineup I am rocking with for today, give me Desmond Bain more than 20 points, LaMelo Ball more than 7.5 assists, and then Steph Curry more than 4.5 3-pointers made, folks, okay? That is $20 to win $115. And Bain just scored 34. Curry made 7 threes in his last game, and I'm a fan of LaMelo. Guys, the app is really easy to use. Just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. And new user offer, download the PrizePicks app today and use code HMA. Get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. The link is in the comment section and description of today's video, and that is code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it is good to be right. The Cowboys are being rumored as the team most likely to trade up, folks. I think the Cowboys really want to do this. I think they're throwing everything out there to move up and get a stud defensive player because they're going to go off the board one by one before pick 12, right? Think about David Bailey. Think about Ruben Bain, Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles. Those are the 5 they want. All 5 of those will be gone by 12. And so I think the Cowboys are the most incentivized team to move up, and NFL insider Jordan Schultz is confirming this as well. There's a belief among teams at the top of the draft that the Cowboys, who have picks 12 and 20, are a team to watch in trade-up scenarios. That's according to multiple league sources. Several teams have said they believe Dallas is targeting a player the Giants also covet. And getting ahead of them would be ideal if the price makes sense. I'll tell you what, the Giants have been rumored to really covet Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs. That makes sense. And this is really good news for Cardinals fans that they would want to jump the Giants to make that trade up. Well, guess what? Arizona's picking 3. Matt Miller, another ESPN analyst, said that I would not ignore any rumors about teams like the Jets or Cowboys moving into the top 10. The Jets are an interesting one, already picking 2nd overall. Not sure they'd go to 3rd, but I can think of three teams total at least that would go up to 3 and trade with your Arizona Cardinals. Number 1, if that Cowboys team did call you up, the trade could look a little bit like this. With those 2 first-round picks that the Cowboys already have, Arizona could get 12 and 20. So you get an additional first-round pick to move down from 3, and then probably sweeten it a little bit with I threw in a 4th-round pick here, which really isn't too much in the grand scheme of the fact that you're getting 2 first-round picks in return for your 3rd overall pick. Let me know in the comment section if you would accept this trade. Type A for accept, type D for decline. A lot of rumors about the Cowboys making that move up and giving up their 2 firsts to get a defensive star. So let me know if you do this from the Cardinals' perspective and have 2 first-round picks now, and you still have a high 2nd and a high 3rd. Let's move on to the Kansas City Chiefs, who are in trade-up rumors as well. They sit with the 9th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, but the Chiefs are rumored to want to make a play for a defensive player at 3 as well. Matt Miller, will go back to him, the ESPN NFL Draft Scout. He says if the Chiefs want to move up to 3, trade picks 9 and 29, so that's also 2 first-round picks, for 3 and 65. That gets it done. Kansas City can keep their 2nd, which is at pick 40 at the moment. So let's map out this trade together, right? You still get 2 first-round picks, 9 and 29. You don't have to go down to 12. You go down to 9. And then the only thing with this one from the Cardinals' perspective, you do have to give up that high 3rd-round pick. It is pick 65. But this is what the ESPN analyst says would get it done. The one thing I'll say about the Chiefs trade is I do like that you could probably get Maui Noah. You could probably go down from 3 to 9, get the number 1 offensive tackle in the class, and an additional first-round pick at 29. It's a pretty sweet deal for the Cardinals in the sense that you could get your blue chipper right tackle and probably an edge/star defensive player later in the first round. Again, the Cowboys, maybe you get a little bit more value, but with the Chiefs, you're not going down too far. Maui Noah might not be there at 12 if you make that Cowboys trade. And so you guys know my stance here for Arizona. I think if you're staying at 3, just do best player available. Don't get too cute. If you have a top 3 pick, get a top 3 player in the class. You could get the best player in the class in Love or Downs by staying at 3. Reaching on the tackle at 3, it's something that the Cardinals don't want to do. And so the trade down does make sense if you want to get Maui Noah. One more trade that ESPN actually mocked for Arizona comes with the Washington Commanders, and that was going from 3 to 7. So you only move down 4 spots, but Washington throws in a 2027 second-round pick. The idea here being that the Cardinals want to load up on picks in 2027 to get that quarterback for the future. I feel like the Cardinals will be bad enough to have their own 2027 first-round pick that does the job, but in case you need to trade up, it does not hurt to have extra picks in 2027. So there's another concept for you guys, all right? So we've looked at the Cowboys trade, we looked at the Chiefs trade, and now this Commanders trade. Out of all 3 of them, if you're Monty Osford, if you're the GM of the Arizona Cardinals, what trade would you prefer the most? Would you do the deal with Kansas City? Type their initials KC. Are you doing the deal with Dallas where you get 12 and 20? Type DAL. And if you're taking the Washington deal and you're looking towards 2027 and moving down just a few spots, so it's pretty safe that Maui Noah will be there, let me know by typing WAS. You can also get creative in the comment section if you want to give me your own trade idea, show the research you've done. I'm all ears. That's going to do it for this episode of Cardinals Today. Guys, I encourage you all to hit that subscribe button. We're going to have plenty of videos during draft week. We've had a video the last 5 days in a row, and so we are cooking here on the channel, grinding to get you guys Cardinals content, and I want to be able to do that as often as possible, but we got to grow the channel with your help. So I encourage everybody to hit that subscribe button. I will also be making videos all next week, right before the draft, last-minute rumors, and then for every pick that the Cardinals make, we'll dive in and analyze it. So I encourage you all to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.